welcome, from Adobe, Al Mooney.
Thanks, man.
Obligatory hug.
Good evening, Supermeet. It is an honor to be on this stage again presenting to you. Thank you so much for having me, for enduring me, whatever it is you do with me while you sit there and look at me. I'm very, very excited this year because we've got loads of new stuff to share with you. You may have noticed that we released all new versions of our professional video and audio tools at the show this year. Brand new Premiere Pro, brand new Audition, brand new After Effects, brand new Character Animator, but instead of making you wait for 2 months or more to actually use these pieces of software, we've shipped them immediately. So all of you here who are Creative Cloud members will be able to get access to these applications last week, which makes no sense at all. This means every single feature we're going to demonstrate today, you will be able to use when you go home, and that's got to be a pretty exciting thing. 2017 is an amazing year to be working on Premiere. I mean, every year is an amazing year, of course, to be working on Premiere Pro. But 2017, you can't have failed to have noticed, we're celebrating Premiere's 25th anniversary, which I think is worth a round of applause. It's genuinely incredible and kind of humbling for me to be working on a product that has such a fantastic legacy. When Premiere 1 came out, it was capable of doing a resolution, ladies and gentlemen, of 160 by 120 pixels. And I really have no idea why we ever changed that. Now we have an upper limit of 16K, and we've gone through hard times and great times, but to be able to be here and talk about a product that still exists and is important in this industry and that you guys use regularly is amazing. And what's more amazing is to think that Premiere Pro is now only 4 years older than me. Incredible. So we celebrated in style this year. We worked with a band called Imagine Dragons to introduce the world's first fan-cut music video offering. How many of you entered the Make the Cut competition? At least 3 of you. That's fantastic. Well, even though none of you entered it, we were overwhelmed by the number of entries. It was a staggering success. They're being judged now by people like Kirk Baxter, so it's all happening. And the winner of this Make the Cut edit will be winning a prize of 25 grand, which is faintly ridiculous. But anyway, that's 2 slides. 2 slides, that's not that bad, is it? Shall we have a look at some demo stuff? Yeah, let's do that, yeah. All right. So let's come out of PowerPoint here. Come on. Come on. All right, and I'm going to jump over to Premiere Pro. So what's in Premiere Pro this year? Well, you will remember a couple of versions ago, we introduced something which we know you guys use a great deal and enjoy using and are successful with, and that was the Luma color panel. It sits in the color workspace. So we have all these workspaces that are designed to help you work in a certain different discipline, and it brings color grading directly inside the editing experience. We built it to be intuitive. We built it to be fast. We built it so that if you don't have advanced color grading skills, you can be successful. But we heard from you loud and clear that it isn't just color. You're now being asked to do pretty much everything. You're being asked to make audio sound fantastic. You're being asked to make motion graphics look fantastic. You don't just edit anymore, you have to do everything. So this year we're introducing 2 enormous new features to help you be successful in those other disciplines. And the first one I want to share with you is something to make all of your projects sound amazing, and that's the Essential Sound panel in the Audio Workspace. So I've just clicked on the Audio Workspace. I have this project, and this is in a completely unmixed state, and I'm just going to play down this timeline, and we're going to listen to what we're dealing with here.
Hi, hi. I'd like to get a drink, please.
Okay.
Great. I'd like an elderberry.
Oh, actually, we don't have that.
I've been here before, and I've done that here,
So it's so badly mixed, it's almost as if someone's done it on purpose. So what I want to do is try and fix this as quickly as I can, but I'm going to do it never touching an audio mixer, never touching a compressor. I'm just going to fix it using the Essential Sound panel. The ESP is something that came from Audition. It's still in Audition, but we've brought it into the audio workspace so that you can use it straight in Premiere Pro. So the first thing I'm going to do, as you heard, there was a few bits of dialogue. They were really up and down in the mix, so I need to do something. I need to do a dialogue mix, basically, but I'm not a dialogue mixer. And then the ambience, you would have noticed, was sort of too loud and interfered with what was going on. So let's see how quickly we can fix that with ESP. The first thing I'm going to do then is I'm just going to select across. We're just working on a portion of the sequence, obviously. I'm going to select across all these clips, and I'm going to go over to my ESP, and I'm going to say, OK, these pieces of media are dialogue. So I'm just recognizing that they're dialogue. Instead of just tagging them as dialogue, however, what this then does is it presents me with a simple but powerful set of controls to enable me to make that dialogue sound better, without, as I've said, needing to be a skilled audio engineer. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to make them sound the same level. I want to do an audio mix, but not be an audio mixer. I'm just going to switch this into solo mode so it's a little easier to see what's going, open up that loudness. So I'm going to open up loudness, and I'm going to click one single button. And that button says Loudness Auto Match. This is real loudness. This is not just volume. This is proper perceptually based loudness. It's fixed all those clips. It's auto-matched them to a target loudness. And now, I'm just going to mute the... no, I'm not, actually. Let's just go for it. Now, the mix sounds like this.
Hi, hi. I'd like to get a drink, please.
Okay.
Great. I'd like an elderberry liqueur.
Oh, actually, we don't have that.
I've been here before, and I've definitely had it here, so you...
Kind of magic, right? The wonderful thing about all of this is what it's actually doing is a whole bunch of stuff you don't really need to understand. When I do something like this, it's going to instance a bunch of real-time audio effects on the clip. It's going to set the parameters accordingly. If I want to go deeper into those parameters and make more minute adjustments, I can. Or if I want to send this project over to Audition, to a skilled audio mixer, he or she will have access to that minutia. But for me, one button, and I've made a dialogue mix. Let's fix this ambience. I'm going to click down here on the ambience. I'm going to tell Premiere Pro that this is ambience. And I'm just going to do a little couple of things here. What we'll do is we'll add a bit of reverb. We'll say it's large room ambience. That sounds good to me. And we'll just play that back in solo. So you can see I've kind of softened it. There's more echo in the room now. And you know what? I'm just going to increase the width of the stereo a little as well, so that the dialogue can sit in the center. So I've moved from something unintelligible to this. Or not, because the track is still soloed. Rookie error.
Hi, hi. I'd like to get a drink, please.
Okay.
Great. I'd like an elderberry liqueur.
So that's Essential Sound Panel. It lives inside Premiere Pro. We have brought all of the Audition effects into Premiere Pro and significantly improved the integration from Premiere to Audition. So audio in Premiere Pro is now accessible, easy, and you will be able to make things sound great really quickly. So hooray! Let's jump back to our editing workspace and go ahead and do something different. I'm going to go and look at this project I've been working on, which is a project all about ghost towns. I haven't really been working on it. It's just the sort of thing you say in demos. But for the sake of today, this is a project I've been working on. In case you don't realize, we all just lie. So it's a project about ghost towns, but what I really want to do is I want to add some kind of nice title to it. I feel like it's lacking a good title. I'll just play down it while I talk. So it's kind of like interesting slow shots of empty towns. A lot of these are actually in Nevada. But like I say, I want to make a new title. I want some kind of nice graphics to get this thing started. Premiere Pro now offers a brand new graphics engine that enables me to create great-looking titles and animate them from absolute scratch. And I want to show you how that works. So this project is called Ghost Towns. I'm going to move my playhead to the front of the sequence there, and I'm going to show you a brand new tool. If you look in the toolbar, if you're interested, we've sort of gathered a lot of tools together now, so you'll see very much, if you guys use Photoshop or Illustrator, you're familiar with this. group tools together to make them a little bit easier to be arranged and make this a little bit smaller. I'm just going to click on my type tool, and I'm going to click on my sky, and I'm going to get a green rectangle to the right-hand side, which is exactly what I wanted. Let's just go in here, and there you go. I've got my little text box, and I'm going to type. You know what? We're going to undo that, because that's not what I want. So we're going to click here. The green rectangle went away. Good. And I'm going to type ghost towns. Good. I've just typed a title directly on my monitor. I couldn't do that in Premiere Pro before. I used to have to know. Good. You know. Good. So that in itself, let's face it, is pretty awesome. I just typed a title on my screen. I know it's not world-changing, but it's pretty awesome that I can do that in Premiere Pro now. But that is not a particularly exciting-looking title. So let's take it to the next level and open up the brand new graphics workspace. So we have the color workspace for color, the audio workspace for audio, and the graphics workspace for elephants. No, for graphics, sorry. So we'll hit graphics. This is then going to give me the all-new, I say that far too often in demos, essential graphics panel. And it's in here where I can make adjustments to my graphics object and make it look really amazing. I'll be honest, I'm not terribly good, I'm not a terribly artistic person, but I'm going to see what I can do. First of all, you'll notice right now we're looking at the type. We're looking at using the type tool. If you do any work in Photoshop or Illustrator or After Effects, this is going to look and feel familiar to you. It's the same technology, it's the same engine. So instead of before, where our title tool was kind of a little bit idiosyncratic, let's say, and a bit sort of outside of the application, this is fully integrated and all very Adobe. So I've got my ghost towns selected. First of all, I want to find a better font, as it's more normally pronounced. So I'm going to click down in my font now. I was looking through this earlier this morning, and the only reason I'm choosing this font is because it's called Bacon, and so I have to choose it. But the good thing is, when I select Bacon, it does have a kind of cool ghosty vibe to it. So why they didn't call it something more appropriate, I don't know. So that's Bacon. I'm going to make Bacon bigger, and I've always wanted to say that in a demo. And I'm just going to move Bacon down a little bit. And so I've got us Bacon. So there's Bacon. Bacon's looking OK. Let's do a couple more things. That may have been a capital H, but we're going to pretend that none of us have noticed that. We'll do a couple more things to Bacon. I'm going to quickly add a stroke. Let's just add a sort of black edge to it. So pick black there and just draw in a nice sort of chunky stroke. What I'm also going to, so this is looking pretty great, right? What I'm going to do now, because I'm so brilliantly creative with these things, is I'm actually going to add, an ellipsis, like an oval, underneath it. So now I'm going to go and click on my pen tool, and I get a bunch of options here. Freeform Drawing, if you've ever used the mask tool in Premiere, it's just like that. Add Bezier if you need to, all of that kind of thing. Or a rectangle, but I'm so creative I'm going to use an ellipse tool, because what I want is a kind of ellipse that sort of frames the text. So if I just draw this ellipse over the text, that's not really what I wanted. So what I can do is go into the Essential Graphics panel, and I'm just going to rearrange these layers. So what we see here is a single graphic object on my timeline, within which there are basically as many layers as I need. I've got a text layer and a shape layer. But you can add still images. You can even add video footage to these to a graphics object and build up really complex, should you want to, graphics objects in Premiere Pro. So this is starting to look just a tiny bit better, I think. Let's just go select that oval, and maybe we'll just make it have like some kind of a drop shadow there. And what do you think? No, it's rubbish. OK. So while my artistic skills are poor, you can see how quickly you can get high quality, not in my example, titles just by using the brand new graphics engine. However, even cooler than that is with Premiere Pro this go around, we have included a brand new feature that we call motion graphics templates. You can create motion graphics templates from the technology you just saw. Thank you. You can create motion graphics templates from the technology you just saw. I could have saved that as a template and shared it with the world, but I don't think anyone wants to use it, so I didn't. But you can also make motion graphics templates elsewhere in After Effects, which we'll get to. But just real quick, I'll show you a couple. I'm going to go ahead and choose titles. And these all animate. They're all beautiful. I'll just throw one in down here. Just wait for the 40. It's always the 44th percent with motion graphics templates. The hardest one. It's really just a difficult percent. And I'll play that back. So a simple animated title, just like before with mine. I click it. I have full access to all of the parameters, so I can just pick my text tool up and type, if it's going to let me, type ghost towns, and I could change the episode. So we're including about 50 motion graphics templates that are free for you to use. They're beautiful, and you have full access to all their parameters, so you can start with a template and really, really customize to make something that looks fantastic. But I'm still not happy with my title, so I'm going to go one step further. Sometimes you just need to call a professional in. The other place you can make motion graphics templates in is After Effects. You can collaborate with After Effects motion graphics artists. They can make you motion graphics templates, and you can be given the full power and complexity of an After Effects comp in a very simple, addressable way. And in order to show you that, it gives me enormous pleasure to introduce my friend and colleague, After Effects product manager, Ms. Victoria Nice.
Hey.
Hi.
All right. Super awesome to be here. Thank you for having us. Motion graphics templates are going to change the way you work, even if you never touch After Effects. And so Al's been working on this sequence, and I'm going to switch over instead to AE, where I've been working on something a little bit more elaborate. And you may notice we have some live Luma tree scopes in After Effects now, too. I know a lot of you have been asking for that for a long time. And they're exactly the same as Premiere. You have the same control. It's exactly the same scopes, now in After Effects. But I've got this project here that I've been working on, and it's actually a really complex composition. There's a lot of pre-comps in it. There's a lot of expression-controlled elements. And it's complicated. And if I was going to share this with even another After Effects artist, I would probably get some emails. Where is this control? How do I change this? How do I even figure out how you built this? And that's where the Essential Graphics panel comes in After Effects. It's the same panel that's in Premiere. It has a little bit different function. And so instead of Luma tree scopes here, I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to choose right-click on this. I'm going to choose Open in Essential Graphics. And you'll see I have a lot of properties in this panel that I've already added that are things I know I want to change in this project, things I'm iterating this design. I want to mess with the colors. I'm probably going to change the title. And so I can do that right here. I don't have to dig into my timeline. But to add a property to this, all I have to do is choose Solo Supported Properties. And all of these things, any of these, I can grab from the timeline and just drag into the panel. In this case, I want to add the background tint color. So I'm going to just grab that, drop that in, change it to, say, background tint. And now I can change this here. I want to go sort of more sepia tone, make it look older. So there, I'm happy with that. And it updates live in the comp, just like I changed it in the effects panel or in the timeline. But that's not all. When I click Export Motion Graphics Template here, I'm going to hit Save. And After Effects is going to pack up everything I need to render this project, all of those photographic assets in the background, all the elements of this into a single file. And it's going to save, and it's going to be a couple options of where I can save this. I can choose Essential Graphics here, which is saving direct to Premiere, or I can save to CC libraries. I could create an entire show package and drop that into the library. So in this case, I'm going to save to Essential Graphics because we're working on one machine. I'm going to say OK. And all of those properties that I added to that panel in After Effects are now accessible in Premiere. Checkboxes, sliders, color controls, text. You can build really elaborate things, or you can say, you know, I only want you to change the text. You can't touch the colors. You have full control. So I'm going to let Al take back over and show you what that looks like on the Premiere side.
Thank you, Victoria. All right. Oh, my goodness, that was loud. So I'm going to jump back into Premiere Pro. I'm still working on my amazing Ghost Towns project. I'm going to go back to my Essential Graphics browse and just go down to the root there. And you can see magically, because Victoria added it for me, there is that Gold Rush show title. Just like with every other preset that we're already including, you save them into that directory, and they're just there. So I'm going to drag it over to my timeline now. And we're just going to load that up. And there in Premiere Pro is that full motion graphic. But editable. So if I click on the motion graphic template, I can go into my edit, and as you can see, all of the parameters that Victoria has decided that I'm able to use, that she's willing to let me try using, are available in a super simple way, and I need to have no understanding of the complexity of the comp that she created. So I can do a bunch of different things here. The first thing I'm going to do is actually just change this. I'm going to call this Nevada Ghost Towns. Notice how the graphic actually stretches to fit that, so it's all very, very dynamic. I'm going to change this to episode 1, because if I get to episode 2, it'll be a miracle. But also, you'll notice that Victoria has very kindly given me a lot of access to other things. So there are whole different graphic styles available in this comp. I can go through, and everything's updating live as I move the slider, but I can literally go through and find one that I really like, and all the way down to being able to make things scale differently and being able to give things different color. So this title accent color, this sort of orange that Victoria's given me, I think I might change. In fact, when we were rehearsing earlier on, Victoria told me that she thinks shocking pink looks best with this. So who am I to judge? Let's just change that title accent color to shocking pink. And as you can see, I can very easily make manipulations to this motion graphics template with no knowledge of what's going underneath. Motion graphics templates are shipping now, and we can't wait for you to use them. I want to thank you all for coming. We love doing the show. We love being here. We love you and our customers and everything you tell us and everything, all you do to help us build such amazing products. 25 years, unbelievable. Here's to the next 25, I say, and I'd like to leave you with this.
I used Adobe Premiere. I like to do a little weekend editing. I recently just cut 3 minutes out of Goodfellas.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.